Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about the latest update which we have given in the Python library, which helps you get option chains with ease. Uh, I will tell you how simple it is and how you can do more with it. It's just a basic overview of the option chain, and there would be a much more that you would be able to do with this library once you get a hang of it and start using it. So I will just be going over it for all those who have already used the library. We are already aware of the basic code which we are already using. This is for the request IDs and to get the data. I have a set of symbols here which I am calling, and you can see over here it's already streaming live and all the data is coming live. I can start it again and show you for these symbols. First, the touchline data comes, and this is the touchline data here. Touchline data is available to you at any time, and subsequently it continues with the normal data feeds. In this case, we are just getting all the data that is here, just to see that everything is running fine. There are a lot of values here. All those who have used it are already aware of all this. I'm stopping this for the time being. Then this is the, suppose you're not using the Python library and just running the raw code. This is all you need to run, and you will see it here. All the code is running here from this library. You can see the bid ask packets which are coming, and then the trade packets also which are coming, which also have the bid ask packets in the end. So this is how this is coming. All of you who are already using this library are already aware of this, but I just thought that I'll show it to you so that you know what's happening. So I added the same number of symbols, about 30 odd symbols are updating here. If you have more symbols, you'll see this moving faster. So I'll stop this also for the time being. And now I also have the 1 minute update. People who subscribe to the 1 minute streaming, they should be able to see this here. And you can see here that uh, I have used logging here to show you. Logging helps if you are using the 1 minute streaming feed so that you know that you're not disconnected. Like you can see here that the heartbeat keeps coming. If you have got the logging set to debug, I'll talk about this a little later. If you have got set it to debug, then you will see the heartbeat. If you have set it to warning, then you won't see these heartbeats. So at the debug level, you will be able to see these heartbeats. And this is the 1 minute streaming feed. In this, I've added all these symbols over here, and they will keep updating at the end of 1 minute. You will get the entire stream like this we got in the last minute. And similarly, we are at 55 seconds. Now we should get the 1 minute candles for the last minute. There you go. At the end of the 1 minute, you're getting all these candles which are formed for the last 1 minute. So this is how this works. And we can see it from here that, this is the heartbeat which is coming from the server. And as soon as it touches uh, 50, 50, 60, it will send us the data feed or the 1 minute bars for the last 1 minute. So we'll just have one more look before we go ahead, and all the fields are sent here uh, for the last 1 minute. These both feeds, tick and 1 minute feeds, can be combined, and you can use both these feeds if you need that. You have to get in touch with the support team, and they will enable this for you from the backend. Now let's see. Now the time is 55. As the clock strike now, you see the speed at which we are getting this bars. So we are able to build the bars right at the clock and able to send them to you. So any number of symbols that you're subscribed for, you will easily get them. Okay. So for now, I'll just stop this. So I'm using PyCharm. You can use whatever you want. I feel comfortable here and it's easy to show you. I'll also show you how I'm calling the history here for all those people who are using the history, make sure you put the live port is equal to none. Only if you're using only the history, or if you are using the real time and not the history, you're supposed to do historical API is equal to false. Okay. So as of now, this is not required. This has to be true for us, but we are not getting the live feed. I'm just showing you the historical data, how we are getting it. I have put these symbols, few of them, and bar size you can select. I've selected 1 minute for now, and I'm sending the request. I'm just printing out a few things for myself. What is the bar interval? What is the symbol name? And how much time it took to come? And I'm calling for 1 day's data. There are various, all these things are given in the README, the various ways you can use from to call the data, or you can use, you can change the bar size, you can call the number of bars for 1 minute and EOD. For 1 minute and EOD, you can set the number of bars and call them. So let us just call these 1 minute bars for these symbols and see how they are coming. So there you see all the data has come. Already all the data for all these symbols has come for the current day. And we have this right up to 1250, the last EOD candle. And it's now 51 bar we will get now. So I think it's 52. So let's try again. We will get the 51 bar now. There you go. 51 bars have come now. At the end of 52, you will get the 51 bar. That means wherever the HHMM was 51, at the end of the 52 minute, you will get the 52 bar. So we've got the 51 bar here. Now, all the data for all these symbols has come. And then you can play around with this. You can call tick, and if you call tick, you can make the bid ask is equal to true. If you have subscribed for the historical data, then in that case, you will also get the bid ask in the tick. Let's try it out once. For all these symbols, indices don't have bid ask, but the others do. So let us get the bid ask of the tick data and see how it is for all these symbols. Bid ask is much bigger. It will take slightly longer time to come. You can see for Zeal, we've got the bid ask quantity and all. As it's an equity, the OI is 0. LTP is coming here. Everything is going nice. For USD INR also, we are getting this bid ask and all the values. We can also make for crude oil also we're getting it. For these are the indices. So indices don't have bid ask, and this is the index itself. Nestle has the bid ask. Now suppose we don't want the bid ask, we can just make it false for the tick data, and the bid ask will not be coming now. So now we have up to OI. So we have the tick data up to OI. So we have the time, LTP, volume, and the OI in the tick data. Then you call the 1 minute bars or the EOD bars. Let's call the 1 minute bars again. And let us say this time, let us call the last few bars. We'll call the last 10 bars only. So as we do that, we will get the last 10 bars for all the symbols. You can see we got the last 10 bars in the OHLC format for all the symbols. So this last n bars works for 1 minute and EOD only. So this was just an overview I wanted to show you of our of the features of the other features which you are already aware of. And if you're not aware of, you can explore this. You can use these ideas to explore more and work on it. Now, today's idea is to cover the option chain, which is a new addition. For this, you will need to have Python library version 4.0.6. Please go to PyPy over here, and please go to project true data dash WS. I've got already opened here, and this is the current version. If you are seeing it later, the version may have been upgraded. This was upgraded on 11th August 2020. Make sure that you are not make sure that you are using the latest version here, and everything is covered whatever I've said over there. I am just now scrolling to two things which I want to tell you. I just mentioned about the logging levels. So I'll just open these things. The logging levels, we are using these ones uh, as per the logging python.org logging module. So debug is the lowest level. As you increase the level, uh, you will start getting lesser and lesser warnings, and you will start, as you move up, you will get only the critical warnings. With debug, we are sending you the heartbeat, etc. And with warning, you will not get any heartbeat or anything. So if you are using a 1 minute feed, you should be using the debug. And if you are using, if you don't want to see the any other warning, you should be using a higher category. So the warning levels you can, so like for example here, if the log level is warning, in that case you will not see the heartbeats. And there are various other things which will not come by using that. Now let's come to the option chain streaming. Option chain streaming, we have just added it. It's right straightforward. Nothing new is to be done. Only when you need to start the option chain, you say start option chain, and there are some parameters. You write the symbol and you write the expiry date. Okay, in date time format. Here I have imported date time as DT. So we're writing DT here. So date time format, you just write the date and the option chain will start coming. The arguments which are accepted here are the symbols, the expiry date, the length of the chain. I'll show these to you. That means how many strikes you want on either side. The default is 10, and a bid ask if you want. By default, bid ask is not activated. If you make it true, then the bid ask will also come at that time. A market close is actually a market. We have a default setting of 1540, wherein this start option chain will automatically stop at the back end, and it will not keep pulling data unnecessarily. However, if you want to enable it, this is generally for Muhurat sessions and where the trading is after, after 1530. At that time, you'll have to write a market close is equal to true. This doesn't read it correctly. We are going to give an update. Uh, we are going to call it market open post hours. So it will be market open post hours is equal to true. So if you make it true, then the data will keep updating. So don't get confused. If you have anything, we'll update this later. But just have to know that if you need to start the option chain, you just have to write start option chain. And what this does is it finds the option chains of Nifty for this expiry. All the symbols are collected, and it fires the add symbol. So it adds the symbols to your list and starts getting the options. Now, once you've done that, to get to see your option chain in a DF, you will, in a data frame, you will just need to write get option chain. So start option chain followed by get option chain. And in this, you will get in a data frame and everything is coming. If you need to stop the option chain, dot stop option chain. Okay. So we have given a sample code here. Please go through it, sample code. And you can pull multiple option chains and you can pull the data along with this. I'm going to show this all to you. And in the while loop, how you can do this. Okay. Remember to give a small sleep in the while loop so that your CPU doesn't over throttle. So just go over this. Meanwhile, I'll be explaining you now how everything is. So let us start here with the logging level of warning. This I'm just using this opportunity to tell you about warning also. In fact, I'll start with okay. I'll start with warning, and we'll see a single Bank Nifty chain. Okay, I've used a username, password, and I put the real-time port. You can see what all is imported. All the standard things are imported. Date time import. Date time has been done as DT from date time, and imported time as T. My login details are somewhere else, which I've imported them so that I can show them to you. So that's why the username, password, and the logging level. So that is nothing new, all the same. Now I'm just going to show you how easy it is to pull a single Bank Nifty chain. All we need to do is start the option chain. I've written here Bank Nifty, the symbol. Expiry date is the coming expiry, which is tomorrow. And then chain length is equal to, I've given a chain length of 15. As you remember, default was 10, but I've given a chain length of 15. Bid ask, I want to see the bid ask, so I've kept it as true. If you make this false, you will not see the bid ask. Now, after you've done this, you need to give there are a large number of symbols which are being found. You need to give it a sleep time of 2 seconds so that all the symbols can be found and the uh, commands can be sent to the server and obtained back. So you need to give a small sleep, because if you don't give a sleep, it will quickly go on to the while loop, and you may not be able to get, you will get a none or a null in your bank name. If you're getting a none or a null, none in your chain, or anything else than a value, then you're not given the sleep. So that's why it's necessary to give a sleep so that you get the data is populated back and you get it properly in the data frame. After that, you can put it in a while loop and say I've given it a time of 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, this will get the option chain again, and it will put it in the data frame. You can get it earlier if you want. I'm just showing you at 5 seconds, which seems to be the appropriate time for now. So let's run this and see. It's connected. And now we can see that the data is flowing. We are seeing the entire Bank Nifty chain updating every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, the Bank Nifty chain is updating. We have the strike, the type, the LTP, bid ask. There is also LTT and other things, which I will show you now. So if we want to see everything, all we need to do is set the pandas options. Actually, we don't, we'll need to import pandas. And I think I have it here. Oh, yes, I have it here. You just need to set the options in pandas. And now let's run it and let's see. Again, there you go. Now we are seeing the entire thing. That is the strike type, the LTP, the last traded time, the OI change percentage, bid quantity, ask, and ask quantity. So all these things are continuously coming. They are getting updated every 5 seconds. There you go. You can see option chain, a single option chain. If you want to update it, this is how you will be able to update it. Okay. Okay. For now, I'm going to disable this, and I will just shift to debug as the one way I'll start getting more messages. It will show you what is happening in the background, wherein the touch line is also coming, and then the uh, heartbeat is also coming. So you will be able to see the same. Now let's see this. You can see this is the touch line which has come, and now we gave it 2 seconds to populate. Now this is the heartbeat coming. Every 5 seconds, the heartbeat also comes, and you can see the option chain coming every 5 seconds. So this is one way of doing this. Now there are many people who don't want to see entire list of option chain. They want to trade. Most people want to trade in specific range of symbols. If they want to do that, all they need to do is they can just let's do something here. If you want to see, say, let's make this a DF. If they want to see only those symbols which are trading between 100 and 300, let us say. So now what we can do is, once everything is in pandas, it becomes pretty simple to get it all done. Okay, so all we need to do is we need to say that LTP is greater than or equal to 100, and where the LTP of this DF, this data frame, is less than equal to 300. Let me check the syntax and other things. Everything is fine. Okay, let's run this and see what happens. Okay, it's pulled the touch line, and now what's happening? Okay, something is wrong here. 1 minute. Oh, sorry, I didn't print it out. Let me just print out the DF. We've done the chain, but I didn't print it out. I will just do it again. I was wondering what has gone wrong. Yeah, oh, there you go. So now we are seeing all the Bank Nifty strikes, which are from 100 to 300. You can see them. They're updating every 5 seconds. So with pandas, all these things can be done. And once your option chain is in pandas, you can start using them like so. And as simple as that. You can play around with it. You can do much more with it now. Now, there's another thing. If we've made this while loop here, this will continue till the market closes. So you can decide to set a time and make sure that it closes at the particular time, and then it should not be difficult for you to make sure that it stops when the market closes. Okay, you have to remember that uh, otherwise this will keep looping and getting the same data for you. Though Bank Nifty, this start option chain would have already stopped in the background. So, so this is how you can do this. You can see that it's coming here and no problem. Now let's see something else. Let us close this for some time and let us see how we can stream this while also with other symbols. Like suppose I want to stream, I've already written this code here and it's all ready. I want to stream this with Bank Nifty dash I, that is a future, Nifty, Nifty Bank, and with Nifty dash I. So I want both the futures and I want the indices also to stream. So we start with the normal code, which we are already aware of getting this. Put a small sleep here. And I've added only a Bank Nifty chain here. So I've just added a Bank Nifty chain here. And I said bid ask is equal to true also. I'll show you others also. I've commented them out. And I've put a small sleep, which is necessary like earlier. And then we follow the same procedure which we do while we do the normal calling. We call the request IDs and we have put them here. For now, I have put this Bank Nifty chain to come after every 50 ticks. After every 50 ticks, we will see the Bank Nifty chain. You can do the changes as you need, and you can work like that. Okay, so let us see. Let us run and see what happens. Let us stop and rerun this. So now you can see the option chain came, and now the data for the Nifty Bank and Nifty Dash I, Nifty 50, everything is also coming here. And as soon as 50 ticks are up, we will get option chain again. There you go. So we got the option chain again, and also the normal data for the other symbols is flowing. So that way you will be able to combine your previous symbols along with the option chain. So pretty simple and straightforward. All this code is given to you in the README, and it shouldn't be difficult for you to replicate all these things. And there is a lot more you can do here. Let us say you want to call multiple chains. Okay, SBI. Now I'm going to call a multiple chains. And let's see what happens. Will we be able to call them? And before I do that, you need to be careful because we are used to weekly expiries. The expiry date needs to be correct. For example, let me say that, by mistake, I wrote the weekly expiry for Bank Nifty also, for SBIN also. And what happens? Let's see. So I'm trying to start an option chain for SBIN. So there you go. It will stop here. It will tell you, please check symbol SBIN and its expiry, because it doesn't expire on 18th. This it's not a weekly expiry. So I'll have to change it back. I'll have to go back here in my code and I'll have to change it correctly. So rest all others seem to be okay. You can also have multiple chains for different expiries. For example, Nifty chain we have here. Now Nifty, another chain, say we want the monthly expiry also to be running here. We'll just change this to the monthly expiry for both Nifty and for Bank Nifty. And now I'm going to remove the logging level, because you've already seen how to do this. So without any logging, so that we can see it better. And we will run all these chains, which are the chains we are running: SBIN, Nifty, one weekly expiry, Bank Nifty weekly, HDFC weekly, sorry, monthly, HDFC monthly, Nifty monthly, and Bank Nifty monthly. So all these we are going to be running together. Let's see what happens. So you're not seeing the what we were seeing earlier. You can see all these chains have already come. See, actually, all these chains have come. You have seen SBI and the entire chain is here. Nifty chain is here. Bank Nifty chain is here. HDFC Nifty second monthly expiry chain is here, and the Bank Nifty monthly expiry. And the data is also flowing. The and as you can see that the data is flowing here for the symbols which you wanted, which are the indices and the expiry. You can see the data keeps coming for the multiple option chains at the same time in a pandas database. Once it's here, you can play around with it, and you can do a lot here. So I hope I've been able to explain to you that what all can be done here. Please feel free to get back to us. All this code is available here in option chain streaming. We already have here multiple, then you can play around with it and do a lot more once it is in the pandas database. Please use this, and please get a hang of it. If you have any doubts, please write to us at support@truedata.in. Also, please let us know if you need us to make other small videos about this API to help explain things to you further. Thank you so much. Have a great day.